condition, colon, statements, and then you can use else, right? You know that you can use else statement with it. Now you can use this else statement with for loop also. Okay, let us see it. 1 second, just wait. Let us see how to use it. Just wait for and also I'll discuss some of the predefined functions also. Before that, let us see for statement with else. Okay, please wait for 2 minutes. Okay, let us see. See, here I took s equal to, I'll explain for with else. S equal to, here I took Lavanya. String, right? S is a variable. Lavanya. Okay. Now see, I want to display each and every character from this string using for loop. Okay, once again see the problem statement. I took s equal to Lavanya. S is a variable which contains Lavanya string. Okay, string must be enclosed in double quotes or single quotes. Now I want every character like this: L, A, P, A, N, Y, A. I want to display like this. Now to display in this way, you can use for loop, right? Okay, let us see it. This is the output you need. This is the output you need. And this is the input Lavanya. Here I have given directly Lavanya. Now for I am taking some variable I in, here I am giving S. Okay, for I in S. What is S? S is a sequence. Okay, Lavanya, which contains Lavanya. Characters L, A, V, A, and Y, A. Now I am going to print each and every character. How to print it? See, print I. See, here you need to keep colon. Okay, remember that. For I in S colon, print I. Okay. If you execute it, what happens? See here, you will get this is the output. How you are getting? Let us see. See, first L. L is assigned to I. Okay, L is assigned to I. Okay, S contains Lavanya, right? L is assigned to I. Now control comes inside the for loop. Print I. Okay, L will be printed. L will be printed. Now again, next A is assigned to I. Okay, next A is assigned to I. Control comes inside the for loop. Print I. A will be printed like that. Each and every character will be assigned to I, and control comes inside the for loop and print I. I will be printed. In this way, each and every character is going to print. Now, I am going to use else statement with for loop. Let us see it. Let us see. See, I am using else. Else, else colon, else colon, print, print, end. Something like this I have given. Some string. Okay, see what is happening. Let us see it. You know that when else will be executed when some condition is false. For example, if you are using else statement with if, when it will be executed when if condition. See here once again, if some condition colon some statements, next else colon some statements. When this else block, see, when this else block will get executed when if condition is false. When if condition is false, at that time only control comes to the else block. You know that. Now let us see this else statement with for loop. Let us see when it will be executed. I will execute and I will show you later. After explaining, I will show you. Let us see. Now see here. See after now see L will be assigned to I, right? L will be printed next. A will be assigned to I. A will be printed next. B will be assigned to I. B will be printed next. A will be assigned to I. Next N will be assigned to I. Next Y. Next A. Now see, now control comes out of the for loop, right? There is no characters, right? L completed, A completed, iterated, right? B completed, A completed, N completed, Y completed, A completed. So after coming out of the for loop, control comes out of the for loop, right? At that time, else will be executed when some condition. For example, if there is some condition is for loop, when that condition is false at that time, or when control comes out of the for loop, at that time this else block will be executed. Now what is the output you will get? See here. Once again, I'm repeating, when this else block will get executed when the condition inside the for loop is false, or when control coming out of the for loop, at that time else block will be executed. Okay, what will be the output? See here, output L will be printed A, B, A, N, Y, A. Next, after A, end will be printed Y. See, after control coming out of the for loop, it comes to the else block. Okay, whenever control comes out of the for loop, else block will get executed. Now, what is present inside the else block? A print end will be printed. Okay, now I will execute and I will show you. Is it clear? Is the concept is clear for with else? Did you understand, students? Did you understand? Is it clear? The topic is clear for you. Please respond. One is responding. For with else. When else block will get executed? When for condition is false. Or when control comes out of the for loop. Let us see it. Okay. S equal to Lavanya. Next. For I in second. So for I in S colon print I. Print I. Next, I'm using else. Else colon. See the syntaxes. Please observe the syntaxes. Print end. End. Okay, sorry. End. Now let us see the output. Okay. See, I'm executing this in online Jupyter. To execute, first you need to write the program in this cell. Okay. To execute in online Jupyter, shift enter. Shift enter. Shift enter. It's not coming. Just wait, I'm executing. Okay, shift enter. Okay, we got the output. See the output. LAVANYA is printed and end also printed. That means else block is also getting executed. Okay, is it clear? See, once again, see. Lavanya is printed and then end also printed. That means after control coming out of the for loop, else block is getting executed. Print end is there, right? That is also displaying. Is it clear? Students, please respond. Is it clear? Is the concept is clear? Is the concept is clear? Is the concept is clear for you? Are you able to listen? మా అర్థమవుతుందా? రూల్ నెంబర్ 4 వింటున్నారా? ప్లీజ్ రెస్పాండ్. ఆ కాన్సెప్ట్ అర్థమైందా? కాన్సెప్ట్ అర్థమైందండి?
మ్యామ్
ఎస్
మ్యామ్ క్లాస్ అయిపోయాక ఎండింగ్లో ఒకసారి వాళ్ళు చెప్పిందంత గ్లాన్స్ ఇస్తారా మ్యామ్?
ఎస్ ఓకే. Okay, now let us see. When else block will not get executed, okay? I will explain. See here. See, s equal to Lavanya for I in S. Now see, I am using if I equal to V. If I equal to Y, okay. If I equal to Y, I am using break. Okay. If I equal to Y, when Y character is encountered, you are using break. Print I. One second. Again I will write. Wait. See here. Is equal to. Okay. Next for I in S. If I'm using if I equal to Y. I equal to Y, I'm using break. Okay. Break. Print. Else print. Okay. See here. Now see, all these statements belongs to if, right? Sorry, for. Okay. What are these statements belongs to for loop? If and else. And this else, last else statement, here I have written after for loop. This does not belongs to for loop. See here, indentation. You need to follow some indentation. Okay. After writing for loop, you are using some indentation after some spaces, all the statements which are present inside the for loop must be in a same line only. Okay, remember that you need to use indentation. If you are not using indentation means it will generate error. Here, see here, inside for loop, if you are not using indentation means it will generate error. See here, after some spaces I have written if else. After that, what, see the last statement else. This here I didn't give some spaces or I didn't give some indentation. So this does not belongs to for loop. Okay. Here for else, I'm using this else statement with for. Okay, not, this is not present inside because I'm not giving some indentation. Okay, see, I'm not giving any indentation. So this last else statement does not belongs to for loop. Okay. Now I will explain this. See, you know that if you are using else statement with for loop, okay, we are using else statement with for loop. When this else statement will get executed when condition inside the for loop is false or when control comes out of the for loop. After iterating everything, control comes out of the for loop, right? At that time also else block will get executed. Now, if you are using break, what break will do? See here. See here, here I'm using break statement. Why I'm using break statement? See, when I becomes y. See, LAVANYA. Now I is assigned. Sorry, L is assigned to I. L is assigned to I. Control comes inside the for loop. What is I? I contains L, right? L equal to y. L equal to y. This condition is false. L equal to C, L equal to I, false. When this condition is false, control comes to the, when this condition is false, control comes to the else block. Now print I. Okay, what is the output? Print I. I contains L. L will be printed. Next A. A will be assigned to I. Next, if condition will be checked, A equal to Y. It is false. When this is false, control comes to the else block. A will be printed. Likewise, L will be printed, A will be printed, V will be printed, A will be printed, N will be printed. Next, I contains Y. At that time, what happens? Let us see. Now see here. Y is assigned to I. Y is assigned to I. Okay, L completed, A completed, B completed, A completed, N completed. Now Y is assigned to I. See here. Let us see. Y equal to Y. Yes, this is true, right? Y equal to Y, true. When this condition is true, what is the statement present inside if break? So what break will do? Break, it will cause control come out of the for loop. That means you are making control to come out of the for loop. Okay, you are making forcefully. Okay, when see condition is not false for condition or iteration is not completed, you are making forcefully to come out of the for loop. Which one? Control to come out of the for loop. Remember that if you are making forcefully to control come out of the for loop, at that time what happens? Let us see. See, you are making break. What break will do? It will make control come out of the for loop. Now, when you are using this type of statement, at that time, this else block will not get executed. Last else block, you are using for with else, right? That will not get executed. Why? Why? Because you are making control to come forcefully out of the for loop. You are using break. Inside the for loop, if you are using break, control comes forcefully out of the for loop, right? At that time, last statement for with else will not get executed. Otherwise, it will get executed. Okay. When for condition is false and when control comes out of the for loop, this else block will get executed. Last statement will get executed. But when you are making control come forcefully out of the for loop just by using break statement, at that time this for with else, last else will not get executed. Okay, is it clear, students? I will execute and I will show you. Okay, see, I will execute. If I equal to y, break. You need to give columns. Column, break. Break, else, colon, print I. Print I. Now see, I will execute and I will show you. Shift enter. Now see, shift enter. See the output. You got LAVAN and end is not printed. See the output. LAVAN, y is not printed because you are using when I is encountered, you are using, sorry. When I is equal to y, you are using break. That means control comes out of the for loop. See, outside the for loop, there is else statement, right? This statement will not get executed. See, this statement, once again. See, this statement is not getting executed. Okay, end is not printed, right? See, end is not displayed, right? This is what for with else. When you are making forcefully out of the for loop, when you are using break statement, this for with else will not get executed. Otherwise, last else will get executed. See, once again, see, for with else. Is it clear, students? Shall I continue? Shall I continue? Is it clear? Now let us see some of the predefined functions. Is it clear for with else? Please respond. Did you understand for with else?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, already you know these predefined functions. Let me recap all those things once again. You know int function, right? Int function. See, once again, I'm just recap. Just a recap. Okay. Predefined functions. See, what this int function will do, it will convert whatever you have given, it will convert into integers, right? See, for example, I am giving 2.5. It is a floating point number. What you will get? See, 2.5. Just a recap. You know all these things. Enter. See the output? You got 2, right? Once again, see the output. You got 2. Here, I am passing 2.5 floating point number. This int function is converting into integer. Only integers will be displayed 2. Now, float. FLA float. Float of, I am passing 2. Integer. Float, once again. Float of 2. I am using float function. Okay. What float function will do? It will convert whatever you are giving into floating point number. Here I am passing integer. Now what is the output? See here 2.0. Okay, it is a floating point number 2.0. Now next. Okay, next one is string, right? string, sorry, str. You need to use str. Str string. Example, I'm passing to integer. I'm passing integer. See what is the output? We got in single quotes, right? Here 2 is taken as a string. str will convert whatever you are given into string. Okay, next. Next function, integer, float, string, next ord. O-R-D. What is the use of this function? O-R-D. I am passing small letter. Okay, just okay. I am passing a character. Okay, I am passing a character. What this odd function? Remember that characters must be specified in double quotes or single quotes. Okay, remember that. O-R-D. Now what you got? 97. So this ORD function will return ASCII character. Okay, sorry, ASCII value. I'm sorry, ASCII value of the character here. What small letter A? What is the ASCII value of A? 97. Capital letter A I will give. Capital letter A. Caps A. Character, only character. Say 65. So you know that in the keyboard you can see many symbols, and you can see the alphabets, and you can see some numericals, right? See, every alphabet and every special symbols like symbols, addition, subtraction, multiplication, even space, all these symbols and all these characters will have some ASCII values. You know that computer cannot understand the English, right? We can understand. We will write in high level language, just English phrases, right? Computer cannot understand. Can understand only binary language, ones and zeros, mission level language. So whatever you have given the input, even special characters, symbols, commas, all those things will have some ASCII value. Okay. Now the system will convert it. It will take the ASCII value and it will convert into binary digits. Okay. Mission level language. It will be converted into mission level language. Okay. Remember that. Now this odd function will be used to find out the ASCII value of each and every character. Now I am passing operator plus. I am passing operator. See here, plus operator also having ASCII value. See, computer cannot understand whatever you know all these things, alphabets and these special symbols and all these symbols you can understand, but computer cannot understand, right? For each and everything there will be some ASCII value. Using this, it will be converted into machine level language. Now, or I'm using some space. Let us see. See, for space, what is the ASCII value? See, 32 for space. See, I'm giving some space in OR function. I'm giving some space. I'm passing space. See what you got, 32. So ASCII value of that space is 32. Okay. Like this, you can find using OR function, predefined function. You can find ASCII value of the special symbols and characters. Now another function. Now list. Let us see list. List. Sorry. List. List. What this list function will do? It will convert whatever you are giving into list. Okay. For example, I am passing string. See here in list I am passing Lavanya. String. Enter. See here you got the list, right? See this one, list. List will be enclosed in open square bracket and close square bracket. So list function will convert whatever you are giving into list. Next, tuple. Tuple. I am passing Lavanya. See, tuple function. What tuple function does? It converted this string into tuple. Next, list again. I am using list of 10 comma 20 comma 30. What it does, let us see. Error. At most. Okay, only one argument you have to give. See, sorry, you have to give only one argument. Okay, next. See, you need to give only one argument. Next. List tuple completed list. See, remember only one argument. Next. Set. Okay, next one is set. Set of Lavanya. Again, I am giving Lavanya. Only one argument you have to give, not more than that. See, what set does, you know that set must be the elements must be enclosed in open curly brace and closed curly brace. But see here in Lavanya, here set will display unordered list. Okay, here first you have created like L A, next V A N Y A, but set does not display what the order you have created, right? Unordered list. Set function is used to convert whatever you are given into set. Remember that you need to give only one argument. Okay, next one, a set function. Next function bin. If you want to convert into binary digits, okay, binary number, bin function, bin of, see, I'm giving 4. See, bin function is used to convert whatever you are given into binary number. Okay, binary digits, ones and zeros. I'm giving 4. See here, see, already you know all those things. Just a recap. Please listen carefully. Are you listening? Is it clear, students, for you?
Yes,
Are you?
ma'am.
Okay. It's very simple. Next, see here, binary number starts with 0 and B. That means it is a binary number. Okay. What is the binary number of 4100? It is starting with 0B. That means it is a binary number. Next. If you want to convert into hexadecimal number, HEX function, I'm passing 15. See here, HEX, hexadecimal number. See, 0xf. See, 0xf. 0xf. Here F is hexadecimal number of F. What 0x represents? 0x represents it is hexadecimal number. Okay. 0b means if there is a 0b in front of the number, that means it is a binary number. Okay. If there is 0x, there is 0x, it is a hexadecimal number. Okay. Next, if you want to convert into octal number, OCT, octal number of 9, something like this. Just a minute. See what you have, what you got. See, 0 and O, you got 11. Okay, see 0 and O, that means it represents octal number. Okay, 9 equivalent octal number is 11. For 15 equivalent hexadecimal number is F. For 4 equivalent binary number is 100. Okay, no need to write some set of statements just like in C language, Java, C++. You need to write some set of statements, right? You need to use while loop, all those things, right? But in Python, it's very easy for you to solve the problem. Any problem within less number of statements, you can solve it because there are many predefined functions. You no need to write some set of statements, okay? Next is very easy for you to solve the problem using Python. Next, octal completed hexadecimal octal. Next one. Okay, completed, right? Most of. Okay, these are the predefined functions. Next, let us see some of the program. Prime number. Okay, prime number program. Let us see prime number program. Just wait. Okay, let us see. Already you know prime number, right? Is divided by 1 and itself. How to write code in Python for this prime number? See, n equal to integer int function, inside int function input, enter a value. See what input function will do. See here, once again I'm explaining. Input function is used just like scanf in C language. What is the use of scanf in C language? Just it is an input function, right? You need to give some value through the keyboard. Just like that, in Python also you are going to use input function. Inside input function, you can pass any message. That message will be displayed as it is onto the screen. Okay, in double quotes or single quotes, you need to use some message. You can use some message inside input function. Now, here you need to enter. See, enter a value will be printed onto the screen. Next cursor will wait. Okay, you need to provide some value. Whatever the value given, that will be converted to integer. Here you need to provide only integers because here you have given int function. Okay, you are using int function. Inside this int function, you are giving input function. You should not give float value. Okay, next for for I in range of 1 comma n plus 1 n plus 1. Now I'm going to explain range. What is this? Already I have explained. See, a range is a sequence. Once again I will explain. Please listen, don't hesitate to listen. Already you know all these things. See, range of 5. Range of 5 means it will be iterated from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 minus 1, okay? Range of 5 means it will be iterated from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 minus 1. Now range of see, this range is a data type. It is a sequence. Yeah, you can use this range in for loop. Okay, range of 5, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It will read from 0, 1, 2, 4. Next, range of 1 comma 5. Range of 1 comma 5 means it will display. It will iterate from 1, 2, 3, 4. That's all. From 1 to 5 minus 1. Okay. Now see here what I have given. Series for loop. For example, I need to find whether a given number is prime number or not. For example, here I have given input n equal to 5. Okay. See, range of, for example, I have given through keyboard 5 and n I have given like 5. Range of 1 comma 5 plus 1. That means range of 1 comma 6. Now, how many iterations you will get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, if I am giving like this, okay, once again see, range of 1 comma 6. Iteration will be done from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 minus 5. Okay. Now, if I am giving like this, range of once again, range of 2 comma 2 comma n. For example, like this I am giving n equal to int of input function, enter a value, are going to enter a value. That value will be stored in n for I in range of 2 comma n. Now iteration starts from, see, n means I have given 5, right? Range of 2 comma 5. Now It iterates from 2, 3, 4. That's all. 5 minus 1. Now you need to find whether a given number is prime or not. You know that if prime numbers, it will be divisible by 1 and itself. For example, 5. 5 is divisible by 1, right? 5 is divisible by 5. Okay. If it is divisible by 1 and if it is divisible by itself, it is a prime number. It should not divisible by 2. See, just wait. See, 5. It is divisible by 1, it is divisible by itself. It should not be divisible by 2, 3, up to that number, 4. Okay. Once again, see. 5 must be divisible by 1 and itself. It should not divisible by 2, 3, 4. Now I am giving range. See, range, it should not divisible by, you know that every number is divisible by 1 and itself. Now I am excluding this one. 1 and itself, I am excluding this one in range. You want only 2. Just an example, 5. Here I took 5. Exclude 5 because you know that 1 is, it is divisible by 1, it is divisible by itself. So I am excluding 1 and itself. Now iterations, you need iterations 2, 3, 4. That's why in range I have given 2 comma 5, 2 comma n. Okay, that is a range of 2 comma 5. That means how many iterations you will get? Okay, sorry, iterations, see, 2, 3, 4. You will get only 2, 3, 4. Values 2, 3, 4. Now let us see. I'll execute and I will show you. Once again, I will explain. After executing, once again, I will explain. You'll understand well. It's a prime or not. Let us see. Please wait.
Yes, ma'am.
ఏంటి ఎస్ Okay, let us see. It's not. I'll open another compiler. Please wait for 2 minutes. I will open another compiler. Just wait for 5 minutes. I'll explain. Sorry, it's not responding. Sorry, it's not responding. Please wait for 2 minutes. Okay. I am executing the program to check whether a given number is prime or not. How to do in Python? I'm using for else, for with else statement. Okay. Now see, n equal to int function. I'm using int function. Inside int function, input, 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 enter, enter a, enter a value. Next, for I in range. See, here in range, I'm using range. I'm starting from 2. I'm excluding 1 and itself. Okay, for example, if I given 5, you know that it is divisible by 1, it is divisible by 5. You know that. Here I'm excluding that 1 and 5. That means you are giving from 2, 2 comma, 2 comma n. Okay, less than n. You are excluding, you are excluding n and 1. Now let us see whether it is divisible by, for example, z. ఎవరండి okay, see, let us see. Colon. First, we need to see whether 5 is divisible by 2, 5 is divisible by 3, 5 is divisible by 4. That's all. We are not seeing whether it is divisible by 1 or whether it is divisible by 5. Okay, we are excluding both of that, 1 and 5. And we are seeing whether it is divisible by 2, whether it is divisible by 3, whether it is divisible by 4. That's why I have given in range 2 comma n. Okay, if I percentile okay, I percentile sorry n, right? N is 5, for example, whether it is divisible by 2, whether it is divisible by 3, whether it is divisible by 4. Okay, divisible by I. Okay, for every iteration. See, I will explain this, please wait. See, already you know this. Please don't hesitate to listen. Now, range of 2 comma n value is 5. Now iteration 2, 3, 4. Now I becomes a 2, right? See, I becomes a 2. Now here what you have given n percentile I, that means whether you are checking whether 5 is divisible by 2. If you are getting, see, I'm sorry, equal to 0, right? See, percentile, that means modulus, reminder, you are finding reminder. If reminder is equal to 0, then it is divisible by 2, right? Now you need to see equal to 0, break. Okay, break. Else, I'm using else. I will explain, please wait. Else, print, it's a prime number. It is a Prime number. It is a prime number. Now I will explain. Just wait. For example, okay, just wait. See, 5, right? N equal to 5. Now range, see, range of 2 comma n, you will get 2, 3, 4, that's all. N minus 1. Now, I value is 2. Control comes inside the for loop. N percentile, 5 percentile 2 equal to 0 or not. When you are dividing 5 by 2, whether you are getting, whether the remainder is 0 or not, that means you are checking whether it is divisible. Okay. No, you are not getting remainder, right? Now I equal to 3. Okay, 3 will be assigned to I. Now again control comes inside the for loop. If 5 percentile 3. When you are dividing 5 by 3, whether you are getting remainder 0 or not. If you are getting remainder 0 means it is divisible, right? 5 is not divisible by 3. Okay. Once again, 5 is not divisible by 3. So break statement will not get executed. Again, see. Again, 4. 4 will be assigned to I. Again, 5 percentile 4 equal to 0 or not. 5 percentile 4 equal to 0 or not. So, it is not divisible by 4, right? 5 is not divisible by 4. Okay, you are finding remainder. Nice. నేను రిటర్న్ చేసేస్తా ఇది 5 is divisible by 4 or not. If it is divisible, that means this condition becomes a true. At that time, break statement will get executed. But here, as of now, break statement will not execute it because if condition is not true, when you are dividing 5 by 4, you are not getting remainder 0, right? Now, so this break statement will not get executed. Okay. Now 2 comma 3 comma 4 completed, right? Iterations are completed. Now, as I said earlier, when this else block will get executed, you are writing after for loop. See, this for loop is completed. After this for loop, you are writing else. When this else block will get executed, else suit, I'm sorry. When this else suit will get executed, when control comes out of the for loop or when for condition is false, at that time, else block will get executed. Now, 2 completed, 3 completed, 4 completed. Now control comes out of the for loop. At that time, this else block will get executed. Now it is a prime number. Okay. I will execute and I will show you once again. I will explain for another number 4. Enter a value 5. It is a prime number, right? See the output? It is a prime number. Now I will once again I will execute 4. I will give 4. 4 is not a prime number, right? 4. Okay, I need to display whether it is not prime. One second. Print. It is not a prime number. It's not a prime. Okay. Now once again I will execute and show you. 4. See here, it is not a prime number. Now else block didn't get executed. Okay, why else block? See last, once again see. Last, this else block. See, this else block didn't get executed because here, see, break statement is executed. Once again, see 4, right? Here you have given 4. Now 2 comma 3 comma 4. Okay, sorry. Comma iteration. See, once again, see. One second. Okay, now see here. Now see, here n value is 4. Here n value is 4. Now iteration starts from how many iterations? 2 comma 3. That's all. Okay. 2 comma n, 4 minus 1. Now I becomes a 2. Now n percentile I, n is 4 percentile 2. When you are dividing 4 by 2, you are getting remainder 0 or not? Yes, you are getting remainder 0. Percentile is nothing but modulus. It is going to find remainder. When you divide 4 by 2, what is the remainder? 0. 0 equal to 0. True, right? When this condition is true, when this condition is true, these else suit, if suit will get executed. Print, it is not a prime number. And break, okay. What break it is doing? It when break is encountered, it is making forcefully control to come out of the for loop. Control to come out of the for loop. Remember, when you are making forcefully to control come out of the for loop, this last statement else will not get executed. Okay, remember that. Now it is a prime number is not printed. It is not a prime number is printed. Once again, say what is the Python code for check whether it is a prime number or not. Is it clear, students? Did you understand prime number? How to write a program for to check whether a given number is prime or not in Python? It's very easy, right? Did you understand? Is it clear? అర్థమైందండి.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, some of the programs. Let us see some of the programs. So up to now, one second. Just wait. See how up to now what are the topics we have covered. Once again, see variables completed, identifiers completed, nothing but variables completed. Okay, variables completed. Next, data types, int, integer, float, complex, and then and sequences like strings completed. And next, list completed. Okay, next, tuple completed. Once again, see we have completed int numericals like int, float, complex, and sequences like string, list, tuple, and also we have seen some of the programs related to that, right? And next, set completed, dictionary completed. So these are the data types in Python. Once again, say what are the data types in Python? Numericals, int, float, complex. There is no double, there is no long double or all those things. Okay, only int, float, complex. Okay, whatever the range you can give. You can give largest number also, very large number also. There is no range. Okay, just like C language, you have some range, right? Short int, long int, something like that. And also have some range, 2 power 15 minus 1 like that. Here you can give largest number also, very big number. Okay. See data type int, float, complex, and then sequences, array, sequences like a string, byte array, list, tuple. We have completed it. And next data type, another data type is set dictionary. All these are completed. Next, control statements. Control statements. Just recap it. In control statements, we have completed condition statements, right? Conditional statements. If, simply, if, else, and then if, elif. Okay, these are the statements. There is no switch statement. There is no switch statement. Topic. One second. Okay. Yes, these are the conditional statements we have completed. If else, and if completed. There is no switch statement in Python. Okay, remember that. Next, loop statements. Loop statements. We have completed loop statements. What are the loop statements? While loop, for loop. We have seen all these syntaxes and some of the programs related to them, right? We have seen it. See, there is no do while loop in Python. There is no do while loop in Python. Only while loop and for loop. Now, and next, we have completed loop control statement. Loop control statement. Loop control statement or break, continue, pass, and then we have seen return, right? These are completed. Up to now, only these we have completed. Next, for with else. For with else statement we have completed. That's all. Okay. Now I will explain this pass statement. Okay. Let us see this pass statement. Already I have explained. Let us see a simple program. Simple program. See, this is a problem statement. Please listen carefully. What is the problem statement? String. I have given a string Lavanya. Here you need to display only repeated Lavanya. Only repeated or duplicate elements. Okay. In this Lavanya, what is the repeated element? A, right? You need to display only repeated elements. Once again, say what is the problem statement? You are giving input as a string. You are giving input string. Okay. In that string, you need to find repeated character. Okay. Repeated character. And then you need to display only that repeated character. In Lavanya, A is repeating many times. Duplicate character. Okay. More than one time it is repeating. So you need to display only which is repeating more than one. Duplicate characters. Whether it may be 2 times it is repeated or 3 times or 4 times, so on. Except one time you need to display. So what is the duplicate character or repeated character in Lavanya? Only A, right? You need to display only this. For this, is it clear problem statement? Is the problem statement is clear? Students, is the problem statement is clear for you?
Yes, ma'am.
Only repeated characters you need to display. Now let us see program. It's very easy and very simple. First, I need to explain how to count. 1 second. I will explain. See, first I will explain S equal to Lavanya. Now, if you want to count in a string, if you want to count how many number of times L occurred, how many number of times A occurred, how many number of times B occurred, so on like this, there is a predefined function called count. Okay, count. There is a predefined function called count. In this, you can pass the character. For example, I am passing character L. Okay, in this count S dot. Okay, remember S dot count. S dot count. There is a predefined function for string count. You can count how many times L occurred. So what this count will return? Will count how many times this L. Here you have passed L. Okay, argument is L. So how many times this L occurred? Only one time. It will return output will be 1. I will execute and I will show you. Please wait. See here. See at the bottom. S equal to Lavanya equal to Lavanya. Now S contains Lavanya. Okay. Now I want to print how many number of times L occurred. S dot. See what is the variable name? S, right? S dot count. Count of pass L. I'm passing L. Enter. What is the output you got? Only 1. That means L occurred only one time. Now I will give S dot count of S dot count of A. Okay. See, remember you need to give in double quotes or single quotes. I am passing letter A. See how many times this letter A occurred? 3 times, right? See, L, A, V, A, and Y. How many times this A occurred? 3 times. Like that, using count, you can pass. Now, what is the problem statement? What is the problem statement here? You need to find repeated characters in Lavanya in any string. Okay. How to find it? Let us see it. Now this is a simple program. See what I am doing. See, I will execute and I will show you. S equal to input. I am just using input function by default. If you are not using include all these things, I am not using all these things. Just I am using input function by default. Whatever you have entered will be taken as a string. Now see, for I in S, what I am doing here? S equal to Lavanya, right? Now L will be passed to I. I contains L. Okay. You are displaying L. L you are displaying and then you are displaying S dot count of I. That means S dot count of L. Okay. Now it will display how many times L occurred. Okay. One time. Next. Next again. See here. A will be assigned to I. Now I contains A. Sorry. I contains A. L completed, right? Now print I, that means print A will be printed. Next, okay, A will be printed. Next, S dot count of A, I means A, okay, so how many times A occurred? 3 times, like that you are going to print here. See the program. How many times L occurred? How many times A occurred? How many times V occurred? Next, V will be assigned to I. Next, A will be assigned to I. Like that we are displaying. First, let us see the, I will execute and I will show you. Enter the string. See here, you got the output, right? What is the output? How many times L occurred? Only one time. Okay, see here. How many times L occurred? Only one time. One time. How many times A occurred? Only 3 times. 3 times. Like that, each and every character, see. It will be displayed. Now let us see. Only we need to display duplicate characters. That means how many duplicate characters are there? More than one, right? See. L repeated only one time, A repeated 3 times. Now you need to display maximum repeated characters. That is here coming to Lavanya. L occurred one time. A occurred 3 times. V occurred one time. 3 times. One time. See the output. One time. 3 times. Now maximum number of times. How many maximum number of? One second. . maximum number of times only A occurred, right? So A, you have to display only A. Okay, let us see the program for it. Let us write program for it. For INS, if s dot count of I, if s dot count of I equal to 1 means don't do nothing, pass. Okay, if s dot count of I equal to 1 means do nothing, pass. See what you want. You want only greater than 1. Count must be greater than 1. If count is greater than 1, that means it is repeated character, right? You know that. See what count will do. It will count how many number of times it is it is there. Okay, how many number of times. Here you need only the characters which are more than 1. Count is more than 1. That means more than 1 means it is repeated many times. So that's why I am doing nothing. Pass means nothing. Else what I should do? Else I need to print, right? Print I. That's all. See what I am doing. I am printing only character, a character which is repeated. I will execute and I will show you. Once again, see here, s equal to input function, and then for I in s, if s dot count equal to 1, okay. If s dot count, it is counting. What s dot count? You are passing I, okay. You are passing L character. Next you are passing A character. Next you are passing B character. Okay. Count will count how many number of times L occurred, how many number of times A occurred. Okay. If count is 1 means you no need to do anything. No, don't print. Or if count is more than 1 only, you are going to print. Okay. Else print I. Pass means do nothing. I will execute. Lavanya. See here, you need to display only A, right? How many times A displayed 3 times. See, A. No, you have to display only A. Only 1 time, Lavanya, right? For every time it is displaying A. You know that A is occurred 3 times. Remaining all characters occurred only 1 time. You need to display only A, not 3 times. Now, to do this, what we need to do? Once again, see here. Once again, see the code. You will understand. It's very, very easy. I am printing only repeated character more than 1. Now, here what you need to do is you need to use some list. Empty list. I am using empty list. L equal to some empty list. Next, in else I am not printing directly. What I am doing? See, for I, if I not in, if I not in L, and then only you need to append L dot append of I. Okay, I'll execute and I'll show you. Now what you need to do? You need to print L, last statement after for. Print L, you are printing L. Print L. Okay. Now I will explain this. Please see here. What you are doing here. Now see S equal to Lavanya. Now L will be assigned to I. I contains L. Okay. S dot count of L. Count of L. How many times L repeated? Only 1 time, right? 1 equal to 1. True, right? When this condition is true, what you are doing? Pass. Pass means you do nothing. Again, control goes to next character. Sorry. Next character will be assigned. I'm sorry. A will be assigned S dot count. S dot count of A. S dot count of A. What you are getting? S dot count of A. 3. 3, right? How many times A occurred? 3 times. Lavanya, L, A, V, A, N, Y, A. 3 times A occurred. 3 equal to 1. False. See, if condition is false. When if condition is false, control goes to else block, right? Else block, right? What is present in else block? See, else block. Now control is here. If I not in L, L is empty list. Okay, this is empty. Okay, empty list. See, L equal to this one I have given, right? Starting second statement. See the second statement, ninth line. See the ninth line. L equal to empty list. Nothing is there in the list L. Here what I am doing? I not in L. I not in L. Okay, condition true. So there is nothing. So you are appending. Okay, what you are doing? You are appending L dot append. I means A, right? Append A. Now A will be added to the list. Now list contains only A. Okay. Now again control goes to next one. L completed, A completed. Now B, right? B will be assigned to I. Count of CS dot count of V. You are passing count of I equal to 1. What is count of V? Lavanya, A, V, and Y. Only V is present only one time. So 1 equal to 1. True, right? See the if condition. S dot count of I equal to 1. True. When this condition is true, what is the control goes inside if statement? Okay. Now what is present in inside if? Pass. Do nothing. Do nothing. Now L completed, A completed, B. Now again A. Now S dot count of A equal to 1. Many times A occurred? 3 times. 3 equal to 1. False. When this condition is false, control comes to this condition is false. Count of A. 3 times it occurred. 3 equal to 1. False, right? Now control comes to the else block. What is present in if I not in L? I means A. A not in L. L contains only A. Okay, just in previous step we have added, right? A not in A. False, right? When it is false, you are not appending. Already A is present in list. Once again, no need to append. I not in L. True. If I not in A, not in L. Sorry, false. I'm sorry. False, right? False. A not in L. Already it is present. Now this condition is false. Now you are not going to append. That in this way you are not going to append repeated ones. Only non-repeated only you are going to append in the list. See, L contains A. Once again, no need to append A. Already A is present in the list. A is repeating, right? In Lavanya, A is repeating. Already in previous step, you are added the repeated elements into the list. Again, A encountered. L, A, V, A, N, Y, A. Okay, again A encountered. Again, you no need to add into L. Sorry, again repeated. Repeated A, you no need to add in L. Already A is present. Okay. So in this way, you are going to do it. Now, what is the, see here, what is the output? Lavanya, enter. See here, only repeat. What is the repeated element? A. A will be printed only once. In previous output, how many times A printed? For each and every time, it is printing A, right? Like that, you should not print. Only once you need to print. So that's why here we are using this if statement. Once again, see here. These two statements are important. These two statements are important. L dot append. Append function is going to add into the list. Okay. whatever you are passing, that will be added into the list. Is it clear, students? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, next. It's very simple to write in Python. It's very simple to write the programs. Within less steps will be completed. Next, let us see another program. Oh, another program. Python program. One second. Sorry. Capital L. I am giving capital L, small letter A, V, A, N, Y, A, 1, 3. Now this is the problem statement. Problem statement is you need to find how many upper cases are there. To count all upper cases, okay, and you need to count all lower cases, and you need to count all special characters like spaces are there or not. You need to count whether there are some numericals like some digits numericals in the string. This is what the problem statement is. Once again, see, you are going to enter some string. Here, what is the problem statement? You need to find whether there are uppercase letters in the string, whether there are lowercase letters in the string, whether there are special characters in the string, whether there are some numericals in the string. Okay, let us find it. I'll execute. Sure. First, let us see. See, S equal to, I'm giving capital letter, double quotes, capital L, next L, A, B, A, N, Y, A, 1, 2, 3. Okay, enter. Now, I want to find whether there is a uppercase letter or not. Whether there is a, you're testing, whether there is a uppercase letter or not. S dot is upper. Is upper. Yes. S dot is upper. See, what is this uppercase letter is there, right? Also, just wait once. S dot. Yes. Okay, you need to pass a character, right? I'm sorry. It's a character. Just wait. Sorry. Just wait. I'm sorry. See. Is upper. Yes. Okay. See here. Just S equal to only character. You need to give only character, right? I'm sorry. See, if you want to find whether a given character is uppercase or not, see, uppercase or not. Here S equal to, here I have given only capital letter A, single character you need to give. Now S dot upper is upper. What is upper is going to find whether it is a uppercase letter or not. Whatever it is present in S, you need to give not string. Okay, if you are giving string means it is getting some error. Okay, Don't give string, you just give a single character. S equal to single character L, capital letter L, S dot E is upper. You are getting true, yes. L is a capital letter, right? Next, E is lower. Something like S equal to small letter L. I am giving small letter L. S dot E is lower. Lower. E is lower. Okay, true, yes. See, S contains only small letter L, only one letter, small character L. So S dot E is lower. What you are getting true? Yes, it is a lowercase letter only. Now S equal to, if I give
మ్యామ్
yes,
స్ట్రింగ్ని లిస్ట్లో కన్వర్ట్ చేసి ఈజ్ అప్పర్ యూస్ చేస్తే వస్తుందా మ్యామ్?
ఒక్క నిమిషం 1 minute. క్యాపిటల్ లెటర్స్ ఇద్దాం. లిస్ట్ లో కన్వర్ట్ చేయాలా?
ఎస్ మ్యామ్.
ఓకే, A equal to list of S. Oh, A dot E is upper.
ఎస్ మ్యామ్.
రాలేదండి.
ఓకే మ్యామ్.
Maybe it is used for strings only. I will see later. I will say and I will say. I think only one character you need to pass. ఒక క్యారెక్టర్ పాస్ చేస్తుంటే వస్తుంది కదండి. S equal to only one character. One and pass చేయాలి. S dot okay, చూడండి, let us see here. If you want to find only for strings, it is applying only for strings. Only character, single character you need to give. See here, S equal to 1. In double quotes, I have specified 1. Okay, actually it is taken as a string. But you are seeing, but you are checking whether there is a digit or not. S dot E is a digit. Yes, it is true, right? Now, this is a problem statement. This program I will say later. In the next class, I will explain the program. What is the program is? Problem statement is write a Python program to count all the lowercase letters, all the uppercase letters, all the digits, all the special symbols from a given string. This is the, just please try it. Once again, I'm reading. Once again, see. In the next class, I will explain. Please try it. Write a Python program to count all the lowercase letters, all the uppercase letters, all the digits, and all the special symbols from a given string. మీరు ఒక string ఇస్తారు, you need to find whether there is a, you need to count, okay? ఎన్ని స్మాల్ లెటర్స్ ఉన్నాయి, ఎన్ని అప్పర్ కేస్ లెటర్స్ ఉన్నాయి, ఎన్ని స్పెషల్ సింబల్స్ ఉన్నాయి, ఎన్ని డిజిట్స్ ఉన్నాయో కౌంట్ చేసి యూ నీడ్ టు డిస్ప్లే. ఆల్రెడీ అమ్మా చెప్పండి.
స్ట్రింగ్ లోవర్ కదా మ్యామ్ స్ట్రింగ్స్కి.
ఈజ్ లోవర్. మీరు లోవరా కాదా ఫైండ్ అవుట్ చేయాలంటే ఈజ్ లోవర్. అప్పర్ కాదా ఫైండ్ అవుట్ చేయాలంటే ఈజ్ అప్పర్. డిజిటా కాదా ఫైండ్ అవుట్ చేయాలంటే ఈజ్ డిజిట్. ఓకే, జస్ట్ రైట్ డౌన్ ది ప్రోగ్రామ్. ట్రై చేయండి, ఇస్ వెరీ ఈజీ. యూ నీడ్ టు యూజ్ ఇఫ్ ఎలిఫ్. ఓకే, ఇఫ్ ఎలిఫ్ స్టేట్మెంట్ యూజ్ చేయాలండి. ట్రై చేయండి. నెక్స్ట్ క్లాస్ లో నేను ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేస్తాను. సో ఇప్పుడు దాకా వాట్ ఐ హ్యావ్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్, ఇప్పుడు దాకా మనం ఏం చూసాము? వన్స్ మినిట్. One second. ఇప్పటిదాకా మనం ఏం చూసామంటే, ఇన్ దిస్ క్లాస్ just explains for statement with else. Okay, for statement with else. Once again, I'm recapping just for 10 minutes. ఇప్పటిదాకా మనం ఏం చూసామో we have seen for this class, we have seen for with else, and then just I have explained some of the programs. And programs explain చేశాను కదండి. Some of the programs like prime number or not, prime number or not. Next, predefined functions. Predefined functions, we have seen it. Okay, so ఈ else స్టేట్మెంట్ ఎప్పుడు ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవుతుంది? when this else statement you are using for with else. మీరు for తో after for రాసిన తర్వాత you are using else statement. Actually you will use else statement with if, right? If else. So when this else statement will get executed, when if condition is false only it will get executed. But coming to for, you are using else statement with for. So when this else statement will get executed? See, when the condition in for is false, at that time control automatically comes out of the for loop, right? When some condition in the for loop is false, at that time control comes out of the for loop automatically. So at that time this else block after for this else block will get executed automatically, or when the iteration is completed. Okay, or when the iteration is completed, control automatically comes out of the for loop. At that time this else block will get executed. So when this else block will not get executed, when you are using some break statement inside for suit. If you are using some break statement, that means you are making forcefully, you are making cursor to come out of the for loop. At that time this else block will not executed. At that time this else block will not get executed. Okay, this is what we have seen, and we have seen some of the programs prime number, and we have seen some of the predefined functions like int, FLOAT, float, str string, bin binary number, converting binary number hexadecimal number lo convert cheyali ante, octal number if you want to convert, odd function if you want to find out ASCII value, you need to use odd function. Okay, list function if you want to convert into list, anything into list, you need to pass only one argument. Okay, tuple if you want to convert anything into tuple, only one argument, remember. If you want to convert into set, dictionary, like that there are predefined functions. This is what we have seen. So in the next class I will explain about functions, how to write functions in Python program. It is very easy, syntax is very easy. Let us see in the next class. Is it clear, students? Have you understood up to now what I have said?
Yes.
Okay, please practice it. Already notes I have mailed it, already PPT I have mailed, already some lab programs what you need to do I have mailed. Please go through that. Thank you so much.